Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code DTC P2652 indicates that there is an abnormality with the rocker arm oil pressure in a Honda CR-V model from 2023 and onward. The code signifies that the output from the rocker arm oil pressure sensor remains excessively high when the rocker arm oil control solenoid is in an off state. This scenario leads the powertrain control module, PCM, to store this DTC for future reference and as a signal that troubleshooting is required. The rocker arm oil control system plays a vital role in managing the engine's variable valve timing, VVT system, which enhances performance and fuel efficiency. Components such as the rocker arm oil pressure sensor and rocker arm oil control valve must function correctly to maintain proper oil pressure levels. The location of these components is usually near the engine's valve cover, specifically tied to the VTEC system, which stands for Variable Valve Timing and Lift Electronic Control. The error described by DTC P2652 primarily involves the rocker arm oil pressure sensor and rocker arm oil control valve, along with the powertrain control module, PCM. The rocker arm oil pressure sensor monitors the oil pressure within the VTEC system, ensuring that the appropriate amount of oil reaches the rocker arms for optimal valve operation. It is typically situated near the valve cover, where the rocker arms are located. If the oil pressure is consistently high when the associated control solenoid is off, this indicates a malfunction in the sensor or the control valve. The PCM interprets this data and flags the DTC, indicating that there is a potential issue that must be resolved. The key role of the PCM is to regulate engine functions based on sensor outputs, which makes accurate readings from the rocker arm oil pressure sensor essential. Hence, understanding the location and functioning of these components is crucial for effective troubleshooting. When analyzing the possible causes of DTC P2652, there are a few primary candidates to consider. Firstly, a faulty rocker arm oil pressure sensor could be producing incorrect data, leading the PCM to believe there is an issue when there might not be one. Secondly, a defective rocker arm oil control valve might fail to operate properly, preventing the correct amount of oil from reaching the rocker arms, thus affecting oil pressure readings. Additionally, any issues related to the oil supply, such as low oil levels or oil quality, could influence the performance of these components. It is crucial to examine the condition of the engine oil, as its viscosity can significantly affect oil pressure readings. Therefore, a thorough inspection of these components and associated oil supply lines is essential for accurate diagnostics. The symptoms associated with DTC P2652 can manifest in several observable ways. The most common symptom is the illumination of the check engine light on the dashboard, alerting the driver to a potential issue. Additional symptoms may include poor engine performance, which can be attributed to ineffective valve timing caused by improper oil pressure. In certain cases, drivers may notice unusual engine noises, such as ticking or tapping sounds, particularly when the engine is under load or during acceleration. These sounds can indicate insufficient oil flow to the rocker arms, resulting in inadequate lubrication. Noticing these symptoms early can prevent further engine damage, making it critical for vehicle owners to seek out diagnostics promptly when they encounter these warning signs. The first step in troubleshooting the issue associated with DTC P2652 involves starting the engine and holding the RPM at 3000 without load. This means the vehicle should be in either park, P, or neutral, N, to avoid driving the vehicle. This action allows the engine to reach its operating temperature, ensuring that the various systems, including the VTEC, are positioned to function correctly. After sustaining the RPM, It's crucial to monitor when the radiator fan engages, as it signifies that the engine has reached sufficient temperature. Then, allow the engine to idle. This process is essential as it helps establish a baseline condition for the oil pressure readings that will be taken later on, providing a context for diagnosing any abnormalities. In this step, begin troubleshooting by turning the vehicle off and disconnecting the rocker arm oil pressure sensor connector. This action isolates the sensor from the vehicle's electrical system, allowing for accurate testing. Next, carefully remove the rocker arm oil pressure sensor from the rocker arm oil control valve. This sensor is typically secured by bolts, requiring specific torque settings during reinstallation. So attention to detail is crucial. After removal, attach the necessary pressure gauges and hoses to the sensor location. This includes the oil pressure hose, pressure gauge adapter, AT pressure adapter, and AT pressure test hose, all needed to accurately measure the oil pressure in this area. These preparations are vital for ensuring that the readings taken later reflect the actual oil pressure accurately, facilitating effective diagnosis. Now that the sensor and gauges are properly connected, the next step is to reconnect the rocker arm oil pressure sensor connector. This action ensures that the sensor is once again integrated into the vehicle's diagnostic capabilities. Following the reconnection, it's essential to perform the confirmation procedure outlined in the diagnostic guidelines. This typically involves starting the engine and allowing it to idle while monitoring oil pressure readings. The objective is to check if the oil pressure is below 49 kilopascal, indicating normal conditions. If the pressure levels are within the specified range, this reveals that the sensor may have a fault. If they exceed this limit, it suggests further examination is needed for the control valve and related components, thereby guiding subsequent troubleshooting efforts. Once repairs are completed, it is crucial to conduct a final verification to ensure that the initial issue indicated by DTC P2652 has been resolved effectively. This begins with running a VTEC function test using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This test will ascertain whether all VTEC-related systems are functioning correctly. After executing this function, clear any DTCs and run the system to observe if the DTC reappears. If the code does not return after multiple tests, it confirms that the problem has been adequately addressed. Following this final verification, it's advisable to ensure that all connections are secure and that no leaks are present in the system, thus safeguarding against potential future issues. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P2652, implementing a scheduled preventive maintenance routine is essential. One critical aspect is performing regular oil level checks to ensure that your engine maintains the appropriate oil volume for optimal performance. Additionally, following the manufacturer's recommendations for oil changes is vital. Using high-quality oil that meets Honda's specifications can enhance the longevity of engine components. Monitoring the performance of the VTEC system, including periodic inspections of the rocker arm oil sensor and control valve, will further reduce the likelihood of encountering similar issues. Keeping a record of these maintenance activities can also help trace potential patterns related to component failures. In conclusion, the DTC P2652 error code highlights important aspects of the rocker arm oil control system's functionality in the Honda CR-V 2023 and later models. Understanding how the rocker arm oil pressure sensor and control valve function is essential for diagnosing potential issues. Regular maintenance, including oil changes and monitoring oil levels, can prevent many of these problems altogether. Additionally, being responsive to symptoms such as the check engine light or changes in engine performance is crucial for timely repairs. Learning to recognize these signs can save vehicle owners from more significant damages and costly repairs down the line. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.